Welcome everyone to Ironbeard Yoga Online. I'm your host, Robert Ironbeard, and today I'll be your yoga instructor. Today's practice is going to be a level 1 beginner's Vinyasa flow. Taking to our mats, rooting down. Let's start by taking big rinsing breaths. Filling all the way up on those inhales. Big sigh out on those exhales. Just taking a couple rounds like that. Taking the right ear over to the right shoulder and gently drawing the head back, taking some head circles, filling up as the head draws back, gently exhaling as the head draws forward, and taking a few rounds just like that, at your pace, nice and easy, nice and slow. And then we'll take it over to the other side, drawing the left ear to the shoulder, inhaling as the head gently draws back, exhaling as the head comes forward, and just taking a few rounds here. Come back to neutral. And if you like, we can take a few no's, gazing to the left and right side. Take as many of these as you need. When we're ready, we'll stop with some yeses, letting the head draw all the way back and drawing it slowly forward. You can take those hands down to the earth, root them down, and then begin to take a few shoulder circles. Your hands can come anywhere they like, to the knees, to the mat. Shifting those shoulders forward, getting some nice rotations, full range of motion. Being mindful of our body, being mindful of that posture, long in that spine. Taking as many as you need. Reversing the flow. Taking it the opposite way. Taking a few rounds of shoulder circles. And seeing where we're holding tension. Trying to release it. We'll come back to neutral. Being long in that spine. Take a big inhale, take those arms up overhead, get a nice stretch. Settle, finding length, growing as long as we can, gently gazing up towards the hands. Lengthening that vertebrae. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Push those thumbs into your heart chakra. Set your intention, your short prayer. Left hand down to the earth, right arm by the ear, and we're going to take that right hand to the left wall, opening up our right side body. Try to stay rooted here on our seat points. We don't want to leave. If you like to deepen, gently drawing that right hip down. Maybe you begin to lengthen on our inhale. Maybe you sink a little deeper on the exhale. Inhale, switching sides, right hand to the earth, left arm by the ear, and we're going to take the left hand over to the right wall, opening up our left side body, those intercostal muscles, all that connective tissue that doesn't get enough attention. Rooting, lengthening on the inhale, maybe a deepening on those exhales. Taking it at your pace, your breath, your flow. When we're ready, inhale, both arms up overhead, and a big sigh out, hands to heart center. Take another one, arms up overhead, and then exhale forward, fold, hands to the earth, finding full extension, surrender in the crown, no tension in the neck, just let it hang heavy here. Not staying long, just for a couple breaths. When we're ready, we're going to walk those hands back towards us on an inhale, peeling ourselves up. Let's make our way to staff pose, pushing those palms directly underneath our shoulders. We're finding length, creating space between each and every vertebrae. Crown nice and tall. If you like, just staying in stillness, or if you like to add a little power, the seat can come up. You can take a few rocks gently, opening up those wrist extenders and flexors. Gentle movement, it doesn't take much. The metacarpals are very short. When we're ready, we'll release out of our bind. Take those arms up overhead, taking a nice big inhale, and on the exhale, taking the twist over to the right side. Right hand comes down behind our seat, acting as a kickstand, keeping the spine nice and long. The left hand can bind the right leg, gently gazing over the right shoulder to deepen. Continuing to tap into our rinsing breath. Big inhales. Big exhales. Trying to return to this whenever we think of it in practice. Being mindful of the breath. Focused attention. One more big inhale, fill, and then on the exhale, we're coming back to neutral. Inhale, take those arms back up overhead, getting a nice reach and stretch. Exhale, twisting over to the left side. Right hand binds the left leg. Left arm is our kickstand, long in the spine. Crown nice and tall, gently gazing over that left shoulder. Tapping back into the breath. Filling on the inhale. Slowly letting ourselves deepen on those exhales. When we're ready, we'll take a nice big inhale, filling all the way up. And at the peak, release, bind, exhale, coming back to neutral. Inhale, softening those knees here. We're growing long in the spine. And a gentle fold down. No tension in the neck. Head surrenders last. Bellying over the front thighs. You can bind the legs if you like, or the feet. whatever our body allows, and surrendering for a couple breaths. You can always take those hands to the earth if you like. Releasing our bind. We're going to peel ourselves up nice and slow on an inhale. Coming back to neutral. From here, we'll cross those legs, roll forward, come right into our neutral table. Knees are stacked underneath the hips, hands are stacked right under the shoulders. You can tuck the toes or point them, either or is fine. Setting up for our cat cows. Take a nice big inhale, round that spine, fill all the way up, spread the scapula. We're going to gaze through the legs here. And on the exhale, belly is going to drop, gaze and seat high for cow pose. Inhale back into our cat, pull that navel in towards the spine, fill all the way up. Big sigh out, back into our cow pose, gaze high, sinking up to the breath. Inhale back into cat. Round the spine, spread the scapula. Big sigh out, cow pose, belly drops, gaze high. Final one, our best cat. Fill all the way up, round that spine. Big sigh out, belly drops, gaze high, cow pose. Take an inhale, set up, down dog. Tuck those toes, seat to the high. Exhale, push those palms away from that center line. Drawing those hearts towards our thighs. Settle in to our first down dog by taking a few calf stretches if you like. You can pedal out the feet, letting one heel drop at a time, flexing the opposite knee. You can flow in and out of an asana. Have fun with it. Explore your mat. Find your best down dog. You can let the heels drop from side to side, opening up left and right side body. Soften those knees. Heels do not have to come down. No tension in that neck. Head hangs heavy. Staying here for a few breaths. When we're ready, we're going to come up on those toes and then slowly tiptoe towards your hands. When we make it there, halfway lift, crown forward, gaze down, scapula draw in and down the back. We're creating a nice flat back here, standing. Rooting down. If you want to deepen, come up onto the toes. Otherwise, just root here, finding that dristi, that gaze. Heels drop, take one more big inhale. Exhale, forward, fold, surrender out, bend those knees, grab the ankles, no tension in the neck, head hangs heavy. Surrender the crown. Gently pulling yourselves down to deepen, bend those knees to get the belly on the thighs. Just taking a few rounds of breath here. Take as long as you need in these poses. take hands to opposite elbows for ragdoll, gently swaying from side to side. We'll release out. On that next inhale, peeling up one vertebrae at a time. Head is last to come up, coming all the way up into our standing mountain pose. Palms face the front of the room. Heart shines forward. Take those arms up overhead. Big stretch here, filling all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms back up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. When we're ready, we're going to take those hands to the mat. Walk, step, jump back, high plank, high push-up. Staying right here, firing up the core strength, being active in those arms. Feel free to come down onto the knees to soften. Just staying for a couple breaths. And then nice and slow, we'll come down onto our knees. Keeping those elbows tucked. Slowly lowering down. Heart to the mat. Inhale, extend the legs, point the toes. Hands are stacked underneath our shoulders for Cobra. Pushing ourselves all the way up. Letting those hips drop. Staying here for a couple breaths. Settling in. Letting those hips slowly drop. Take a big inhale, tuck those toes, set up for down dog. Exhale out, seat to the high, palms away from that center line. Taking a couple breaths here. Gaze forward. Walk towards those hands, halfway lift. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Be nice and slow. We're going to swan dive up. Inhale. Taking those arms back up overhead, getting a nice stretch here. And then on the exhale, hands to heart center. Arms back up. Take the big inhale. Exhale into chair pose. Keep those arms active by the ears. Long in the spine. We tuck our tailbone under. If you want to deepen, you can always slowly drop the hips. You can come up onto the toes is another option. Staying as long as you like. Take one final inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to release out, forward fold. Bend the knees, grab the ankles, no tension in the neck. Inhale into our halfway lift. Hands down to the mat, walk, step, jump, back, high plank, exhale. Take a nice big inhale, rock forward. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga, elbows tucked. Inhale into our up dog or cobra, point those toes, stack the hands under the shoulders. Seat to the high, down dog, exhale, push the palms away, hips high. Let's center up that left foot, and then we'll take the right leg up and high. Staying here, finding length. Or if you like, you can warm up the joint. You can take an ankle circle, leg circle. Otherwise, you can just find some stillness, finding reach with that leg. Take a big inhale. Exhale, sweep it between our hands. Drop the back heel. We're setting up for warrior one, right side. Hips are square to the front wall, arms up by the ears. Front knee stacked over that front ankle. Staying right here, or if you want to deepen, you can let those hips drop and you can take those hands to the back wall. Otherwise, just reach on high. Staying for a couple breaths. Let's find a little more reach on that next inhale. And on the exhale, hands are going to come down. We're going to frame that right foot coming into our runner's lunge. Use blocks here if you like. Staying up on those back toes. Feel free to take the knee if you need. Just staying here for a couple breaths. When we're ready, we're going to take that right leg back for high plank, high push-up. Take a big inhale, rock forward. Exhale, down, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra, point those toes, stack the hands under the shoulders. Nice and slow, exhale out, down dog, seat to the high. Palms push away from that center line. Soften those knees if you like. Center up that right foot. We're going to take the left leg high. Ankle circle if you like. Or a knee circle, leg circle. Or just find that stillness and reach. Long in the leg, take a big inhale. On the exhale, sweep it between our hands. Drop that back heel. Strong in the front leg, rising up, warrior one, left side. Hips are square to the front wall. Front knee stacked over the front ankle, arms up by the ears. Taking those hands high and back to deepen. You can let those hips drop if you like. Staying for a couple breaths. Take one more big inhale, finding reach, growing long. On the exhale, hands are going to come down, frame the foot, settling into our runner's lunge, staying on those back toes. You can take the knee if you like. Settle in here for a couple breaths. When we're ready, we're going to take that left leg back, coming back into our high plank. Take an inhale, rock forward, lower down, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Inhale, point those toes. Staying here for one breath, let those hips drop. Just settle into the pose gently. Take a big inhale, and on the exhale, seat to the high, back to down dog. Gaze forward, flex the knees, walk, step, jump towards the hands, halfway lift, big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale into chair pose. Arms up by the ears, settling back in. Those hips can drop. Feel free to come back up on the toes if you like. Tapping back into the breath. Long in that spine, we tuck that tail under. Take an inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms back up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Bend the knees, grab the ankles. Inhale into our halfway lift. Hands down, walk, step, jump back, high plank. Stay here for a couple breaths. Settling back into our plank. And then nice and slow, let's lower down onto the knees. Make your way up. We're going to work our way into our camel. Tuck those toes, right arm by the ear, left hand to the base of the back, to the block, to the heel, to the calf, wherever you can grab. As always, listen to your body. Drawing those hips forward gently. Drawing that right hand to the back wall, deepening. Settle in here for a couple breaths. Inhale, back to neutral. And then on the exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, left arm by the ear. Right hand can come to the base of the back, to the heel, to the block, to the calf, or right to the earth, wherever your body allows. Gently drawing that left hand to the back wall. Drawing those hips gently forward. Listening to our bodies. Staying for a couple breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll take an inhale, coming back to neutral. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take those feet together. Knees are going to flay out to the sides of the mat. We're taking child's pose. Slowly surrendering down into our mat. We're going to extend those arms out all the way. Root down here. Drawing those armpits into the earth. Staying here for a few breaths. As always, you can take this pose anytime during anyone's practice. returning to our breath, returning to our hearts, reconnecting with our earth. On an inhale, we're going to peel ourselves back up, coming into our neutral table. When you're ready, cross the legs, roll back seated, and then take Navasana, boat pose, finding that center point on our seat. Finding balance, you can keep the hands to the earth. Or behind the knees to soften. Or if you want to deepen, you can extend them out to the front wall. Long in that spine, heart shining forward. If this is too much, you can always take those feet to the earth. You don't have to keep them up. You can teeter-tot, taking one foot up at a time. Little options. We're all on different journeys. Staying here for roughly 10 breaths. This is High Boat. If you like to challenge yourself, extend out into low boat, getting as close as you can to that mat. Don't forget to breathe. Continue to try to find cadence in the breath. When we're ready, we'll lower down to the earth, taking supine. Take those knees into chest. Give ourselves a nice loving hug, binding the legs, drawing those knees in. Take a few restorative rocks if you like, from side to side, or forward and back for rock and rolls. Giving ourselves some love, some honor, some thanks. From here, we'll release our bind, feet to the earth. Tuck the feet into our seat, arms by the sides, palms down into the earth. We're going to take those hips up for bridge pose, taking a gentle inversion, drawing those hearts above our heads. Strong in the glute. If you like to deepen here, you can always take those hands behind your back, palms together, interlace the fingers, shimmying up onto the shoulders. You can come up onto the toes if you like, for a couple little added options. If you like the work that we're doing here, feel free to take that right index phalange, take an inhale, extending it out, and on the exhale, smash that subscribe button. Nice and slow, we're going to guide ourselves back to the earth, one vertebrae at a time. Coming back down, taking those knees back into chest, taking a couple more restorative rocks. Tee out the arms to our sides. Keeping those knees tucked, we'll let them drop over to the right side, coming down to the earth, taking supine twist, gently gazing over the left shoulder to deepen. The knees might not come all the way down, but try to keep those shoulders nice and rooted. Taking a few rounds of breath here. Our gaze comes back to neutral. Knees can follow, taking them back into chest. Keeping those arms extended. Shoulders are rooted, let the hips drop to the left side. Supine twist, gazing over the right shoulder. Staying here for a few breaths. Or as long as you need. The gaze will come back to neutral. The knees will follow. Take them back into chest. Let's reach through our thighs, grab the outside edges of our feet, stacking our ankle over our knee for happy baby pose. Taking the restorative rocks from side to side if you like. Or if you want to continue to open up those hips, you can gently draw those elbows to the earth. When you're ready, we can release our bind. Coming into our final resting pose, Savasana, extending our legs out, arms by our sides, palms face up. We're finding our anatomical neutral. Returning back to our breath. Returning back to our center. Thank you all, our friends, our family, our customers, our yogis, our viewers. Thank you all so much for the people who share our stuff on social media, people who like and subscribe to us. Thank you all. And until next episode, have a great day, namaste, and take care.